Oh my god, I can't believe we just walked out of the Sonic 2 movie premiere in LA. It was kind of interesting how immediately after the movie ended, like in full, we went to the bathroom and then the fire alarm went off, and then like the really nice ritzy theater we were at in LA stopped showing for the rest of the day. You'd think they'd be a little more professional about that, but whatever.
They just really wanted to make sure that we saw the movie before anything bad happened.
Yeah, I guess we were the only people seeing the movie today, just the two of us, no one else.
Just the two of us and the...
What? Hello?
It's just crazy because I'm sorry. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Aster. It's nice to meet you. I was there too. I was right behind you. I snuck in. Sorry.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought it was awesome. I did sneak in though. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm not a snitch.
Thank you.
How did you sneak into here though? Our studio, our podcast studio.
The door is open. I thought it would be cool. I thought it would be fine.
Is the door open? Oh, come on, what? Whatever. Well, I guess welcome to Let's Talk About Sonic, the only podcast in the whole worldwide universe where we talk about Sonic, nothing else, ever. Never, ever, forever, never. My name is Mitt. I'm here with my co-host Crepe, and today we have a special guest, Aster Ceeberoni, if you would care to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Aster Ceeberoni. I like to have fun. I'm an artist and an animator, and Mitt and Crepe are my awesome friends.
This is factual.
This is factual. You like Sonic Adventure 2?
I love Sonic Adventure 2. It's one of my favorite games. Yeah, okay, so Sonic fan-wise, I'm not like crazy know-it-all about it, but I am deeply in love with the Sonic Adventure games and have always been since I was a little kid. And like, we owned like a Genesis when I was a kid, so I played the Sonic games not very goodly, like the classic ones. I had Mean Bean Machine, which was very formative to my personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumbs up emoji.
When we went to go, I guess like I'm making the active decision to drop the bait here. When we went to go see the Sonic 2 movie, its premiere weekend, we met up with our good friend Aster, side of the country, that we were all at together, and it was a really good time.
Yeah.
It's true.
It was very nice. We rented out a theater because get vaccinated, stay masked, don't go to the movies unless you're doing this. Because it was very few people in that movie theater. Like we went like Friday in the middle of the day, so it was already dead. But we made the additional precaution of just straight up renting out the room that we were watching the movie in, which was smart because no one else was in there except a couple of kids who snuck in for like 20 minutes. So whatever.
Which was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see their shadows on the side of the wall because clearly one of them turned on a light for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also add on, don't go to the movies right now, especially if you have to fly to do so for whatever reason, because it seems like that's not really safe anymore.
Yeah.
No, Sonic would want you to be safe about this.
Sonic would want you to be safe about this.
I think it's worth waiting for like streaming or just being really, really, really safe.
And of course, by the time this episode has gone out, the movie is no longer playing in theaters and is now actually available on streaming platforms like Paramount Plus and YouTube Movies, so you don't have to risk your life to see Sonic the movie too. You don't have to. He wouldn't want you to anyway.
It's a good movie.
And if you gotta see it by other means, we understand.
Yeah, we understand. God forbid I don't know how the Mario movie is going to happen. My recommendation is that unless the horrible disease magically vanishes between now and December, don't go there. It comes out December 22nd. Don't do it.
Wait,
Bad
is it coming
idea.
out this year?
It's coming out this December.
Have we done
That's
this little
nuts.
about it?
Yeah, we've seen nothing.
Yeah.
And of course, also between recording and posting this episode, Nintendo delayed the Mario movie. What is happening? God, Nintendo is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you know Nintendo is currently in hot water for labor issues?
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not very funny right now.
I did hear that. They're gonna get sent to the principal's office and expelled.
Mm-hmm. That's what they get for having a dream journal that Sega really wanted to ruin.
Yeah, it's true.
So how about Sonic 2? What's that all about?
Yeah, not to talk about other movies that we watched during that trip or anything.
True. Sonic 2. What a great movie.
I really enjoyed it. I actually didn't come into this with any sort of clear idea of what I would say about it without spoiling stuff. I guess the general overview of my opinion is Knuckles was good. You should watch it for Knuckles.
Yes.
Agent Stone got to do more, and that's awesome. And Sonic and Tails were good friends, and it was cute. And I liked the things that the movie introduced.
Yes. So following up on our funny little Sonic 1 episode and our Sonic 2 predictions episode, needless to say, we got a lot of what we wanted out of this movie on multiple different facets, but I enjoyed how this movie is, as everyone else has already said, we're a little late. This is the Sonic movie. The first movie was all of the first one is a movie about Sonic, the guy. We have to establish Sonic as a character in this world so we can now have the real Sonic movie, which is this one, where we introduce all of the elements that are actually from the franchise as it is, like the Master Emerald, Knuckles, Tails. There's more badniks. There's more fun. There's more adventure. Sonic 2 in theaters now.
There's more Sonic.
There's more Sonic. There's a lot more Sonic. The humans in this movie are not as there as they were before.
People will still criticize this film for how there the humans are. They're still overblowing it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I feel like because I've seen this movie 2 times now. I watched the working cut because as some of you probably know by now, me and Crepe both worked on the pixel art in the credits sequence and the Kid Cudi music video that was made to correspond with that.
Which is out now, and you can watch it at any point, anytime you want to.
Yes.
You can literally watch it, and it's so good.
And I was brought on first because they reached out to me, so I had to work on style frames and stuff, so I needed to see the movie, so I got to see the working cut. And first watch, I shared a lot of opinions that I think a lot of people are having now on their initial viewing and review, where it's yeah, the humans are kind of all there. The movie just kind of drags at some points. It's kind of weirdly paced. But on second viewing, it felt like I liked it a lot more. The issues didn't bother me anywhere near as much, and I got a lot more into it. And I was able to enjoy those parts that other people are saying are a little awkward and drags out more, because I know the full context in which the scene is in. So I was able to okay, I'm just going to sit and enjoy the acting and the humans while they last, because I know things are going to go back. It's going to go back to Sonic.
I've only seen the film once so far, and even for me, I didn't think the moments where the humans were prominent on screen for a decent period, I didn't think those were too bad, honestly.
True, literally true. I enjoyed parts of the wedding stuff, quite a bit, actually. I thought Maddie and Rachel's part was actually really fun.
Yeah.
So probably now's the best time to say we're gonna be spoiling the heck out of this movie in this episode. So if you haven't seen it and you want to, then come back when you have. I'm sure you'll enjoy it more once you have context for all the stuff we're saying, and you'll probably enjoy the movie more without knowing fully what's going on in it. Some stuff here and there, whatever, but.
Yeah, if you want a short and sweet review, if you're a Sonic fan, you'll like this movie. It's very unlikely that you won't. This is a movie for people who like Sonic, and all the characterizations are great. All of the action is great. All of the set pieces are great. It's all stuff you would want to see, so you might as well go see it. If you're not a Sonic fan, you're not going to care, and you're starting to see that opinion outside of the Sonic fandom with this movie. And just know that most of it is that they're not really invested in Sonic. If you're invested in Sonic, you'll love the movie, because there's a lot of love that got put into it, and you could tell. But if you don't have the ability to see that, you're not trained, you don't have a trained Sonic eye, then it's just going to be another kid's movie, and you're probably not going to get anything out of it, and that's fine.
I
So-
wonder.
Our friend. Oh, go ahead, Aster.
Sorry, I do wonder if like you're not specifically a Sonic fan and you saw the first movie and liked it, like, or if you didn't like it, or I don't know, but if you saw the first movie then the second movie, like how that would be as not being a Sonic fan. I feel like it would still hold up pretty well, but it is very much more like for Sonic fans. Like it is very much like a Sonic. It is Sonic's movie. He's there. He's in it, and all of his friends are there.
I wonder because the second movie does follow up a lot on what the first movie puts down,
Yeah.
while also introducing a lot of like actually Sonic things. I was gonna
Exactly.
say on the front of like people who aren't Sonic fans and their impressions of the film, I think our friend Viv, Toaster Girl on Twitter, who is the brains behind the recent Sonic Lego set.
Yes.
She put it really well recently. Something along the lines of, I think this movie is an 8 out of 10, or an 8.5 out of 10, but because my Sonic brain, I would still rate it a 10. It was something along those lines. I think that was far from a direct quote, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's if you're going to see the Sonic movie, you're not going there to see theater. Like you're not going to see a very fancy, artistically driven movie. You're going there because you
God,
want
no.
to see a Sonic movie, and
Yeah.
that's what you're going to get. It's a Sonic movie, and it's for kids. So like, if you're the kind of person who doesn't get Sonic and you're wondering what everyone sees in this movie, it's because it's Sonic. So,
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
but yeah, spoilers from here on out. EB warned. See you
Yeah.
later. See you next week.
I think we're good to rip the Band-Aid here.
Yeah.
That was Foley.
So I guess we'll go scene by scene here because I don't want to jump straight to the end. I feel like that's it wouldn't be good podcast etiquette of us to do. So
Yeah, true.
Does anyone remember how this movie opens up? Oh, I remember. It opens up with that egg guy, who's losing his mind with all the mushrooms around him. Wasn't that
Yeah.
weird?
Eggman's just chilling on the mushroom planet, which looks distinctly more colorful than it did in the first movie, which means that the Mushroom Hill reference in quotations is being sold a little bit more because like when he was first plunked off on the mushroom planet in the first movie, everyone was like, oh, is it Mushroom Hill? Is this Mushroom Hill because there's mushrooms? Is it Mushroom Hill? And I think a couple of people were like, no, not really. But now I feel like that's a little bit harder to say because it's definitely a lot grassier and more colorful. And hey, the prequel comic just straight up shows like other zones verbatim. So
This is true.
it is on the table.
Yeah, the prequel comic basically confirms that they're allowed to have other Sonic-style worlds appear in this canon, whether or not they'll actually show up in the movies much.
Yeah. I guess on that end, to step away from talking directly about the movie and more about the prequel comic, one thing I did find weird was some of the specific zones that they chose to show as like, oh, these are separate worlds, because that's how they're contextualizing the zones in this universe, is that they're different worlds. So like technically Earth is a zone, and then we would say that like Sonic's world, we'll say just for the sake of simplicity, that's like the Green Hill zone in essence.
Mm-hmm.
But in the comic, they showed some zones like Casino Night was there, which is, you know, it's Casino Night, so that kind of works. Although that got like very recontextualized. But the one that stood out to me is Spring Yard, because that's just like an industrial park. Spring
I
Yard
didn't really
is,
think about it.
yeah, Spring Yard is just like a construction site. So it feels a little weird to have that be like, oh, it's a separate world.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's probably not supposed to be taken that literally.
No, probably not. I gotta wonder, just considering like if Earth is a world or zone in this continuity, then like Earth definitely has a lot of like diverse locales compared to a single Sonic zone. So probably like some of those were the implication that these different Sonic zones you recognize are parts of larger but separate worlds.
Maybe. Because I would say, like, if Tails had just so happened to land on Earth in, like, the Spring Yard Zone area, then that would be fine. I think that's my big thing, is that I wouldn't want Spring Yard Zone to be off Earth, because then it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, fair.
But that's neither here nor there. That's the comic.
I was gonna say, it probably depends on, like, whether or not Tails hops between, like, the same few worlds in that sequence.
That's true. It has been a minute since I looked at that comic, so I wouldn't be able to remember offhand, but I do know that they go out of their way to show other Sonic, like, animal people and other Sonic worlds, because there's Marble Garden, or not Marble Garden, just Marble Zone 2, and I guess that could be whatever. That's also a very... All of the Sonic 1 zones feel very down-to-earth, pun marginally intended, in that, like, that is, like, the core point of Sonic 1, is that you're going from Green Hill to more industrial and man-made zones.
Yeah, of course.
That feels intrinsically linked to the industrialization of Earth, so it feels a little weird to remove it from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they did first thing in the first movie, so...
Yeah.
I don't know, hard to say, like, what their full intent was.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just building up to give themselves the back door, but I do feel like going forward, they're probably going to be leaning away from all of the classic stuff, because so far, Sonics 1 and 2 have all leaned on recontextualizing all of the classic stuff, which I just had like a very brainwormy idea. It feels as though, because we were talking about timeline stuff earlier in chat, and it feels like the movie is kind of like the visualization of how they've kind of retconned classic Sonic out of the main timeline in terms of like, oh yeah, Sonic's always done, Sonic's 1, 2, 3, etc. in the current mainline timeline, but we'll kind of dance around him being classic Sonic in that. Like, we won't show you any of it because it's before and that was a different art style. This feels like if they wanted to get a different crack at it and keep it consistent with the later stuff, which makes a lot of sense. If the movie universe is definitely taking a lot of stuff from the games and making it make a lot more sense from a narrative standpoint, which kind of comes with the territory of making a movie, which is good because that, like everyone else is noticing, this is kind of the way Sonic has always meant to be. And I guess that's kind of a hot take, I guess, to say.
I guess kind of on that note, it's worth noting that like the Sonic 2 movie is succeeding in a lot of places in regards to the material it takes from the games in ways that other video game movies do not succeed.
Yeah.
It's like, I can think of the Silent Hill movies, which like people have all their different grievances with, especially after the first one. But the first movie is like this really loose adaptation of Silent Hill 1's plot with different characters. And a lot of people who were fans of Silent Hill looked at it and was like, why did you change this detail and this detail and this detail? It didn't seem necessary for the adaptation to a new medium or anything. It wasn't really like imperative for the needs of film specifically. But like other things are consistent with Silent Hill 1's plot. And I haven't seen the Resident Evil films. The Mortal Kombat movies were in the 90s and played pretty fast and loose with that kind of stuff too. So it's interesting to see Sonic 2, which is a movie that absolutely follows its own plot and universe, but picks up so much from the games and then does things with them, and have it turn out successful instead of it feeling like, well, why did you adapt like parts of Sonic 2's plot, parts of Sonic 3's plot, parts of Sonic Adventure into this new thing? Like, no, it just works because it's a new thing that takes these ideas and runs with them.
Yeah, the biggest loss, quote unquote loss, like the thing that's not here that is the most glaring omission is Angel Island just not really being here. They recontextualized all of the lore surrounding Angel Island by merging it with the Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1, putting that all on Earth, which is fine. Like, it does work. There's nothing really wrong with it, and I don't mean to frame it as though it doesn't. It's just interesting that the Angel Island didn't come up at all. They actually recontextualized Knuckles' role in a way that I like because we talked about it.
It felt incredibly Sonic Adventure, and especially Labyrinth felt incredibly Lost World.
Yes,
the level, not the game.
Yeah, they took they took Knuckles' role away from being, oh, he's the guardian of the Master Emerald, he has to sit on an island forever, and they made him into, like, he's still very solo, like he lives in solitude, but he's a lot more like he has spent his entire life trying to do the one thing that he has been doing this whole time, getting by strictly off of his brute strength and his skill as a warrior without really needing to socialize, which is where that kind of fish out of water awkwardness comes up. But that also means the fact that there's no Angel Island and the Master Emerald is such a tiny little thing that can just be toted around, means that we can finally get the Knuckles character development that we have needed for forever, where he just gets friends and shares the burden, and now he can exist with everyone else and it's not a problem. Incredible how that works.
Yeah, honestly. Aster, I wanted to ask you, as the resident Knuckles liker, how you felt about his portrayal in this film.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed him, honestly. And honestly, I didn't really think about how different his origin story was from the games until like y'all just pointed it out. But it does feel like such a like organic adaptation of like his character that like you might not think about these things like unless you are like super duper into Sonic, which I am super duper into Sonic, but like I also am very like no thoughts, head empty. At first I wasn't really sure because like it's really hard for me to feel like a Knuckles voice fits. Like I wasn't really sure. Like I liked Idris Elba, like his voice, and I wasn't entirely sure how I was gonna feel about it like in the movie at first, but I really do feel like he's a really good fit. Because like really the only other Knuckles voice I actually like is his Sonic Adventure 2 voice.
Yeah.
And none else. There's no other voices. But yeah, no, Idris Elba was really, really good as Knuckles, and I feel like it really fit with this Knuckles, and he was just like I feel like I just really I like how they did movie Knuckles a lot. And I feel like they did a really good job at not like making him like, oh yeah, he's like dumb. Like he's just like not smart. Like,
people were fearing that so much going into this movie.
Yeah, no, he like I feel like they did a really good job at making it feel like, okay, yeah, he just like doesn't get their kind of like he's very much from like a culture of like I guess like honor and that sort of thing. And so it's very like I don't know if he like really picks up on like when people are trying to deceive as much, which I mean is usual Knuckles stuff, but like
it has like a different flavor to it.
It does. And I feel like later on that did get like telephoned into like, oh, he's just dumb and gullible. Not like, oh, he is not used to other people like that. Like he's not used to these people. He's not used to people trying to get one over on him, you know, like.
Yeah, he's not used to Earth customs, and it's
yes,
like
exactly.
With his trust thing, it's more like, as a warrior, if you agree to you know, by my honor, I will agree to trust you. If you agree to trust me, and if you don't, then I will break your legs. Kind of thing. Like that's what I got from like the handshake and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it feels like it just feels really good. Like I feel like it was a really well done like interpretation of his character. I really enjoy it. And the other thing that is really nice is that like he feels like threatening. Like I really appreciate that. Like he is like threatening. Like he's like, oh, okay. He's just going to break everything, and I don't think he's gonna have much of a problem like shattering you to tiny little pieces.
No, he was like so goal driven the whole movie that there was like never any doubt the lengths he would go to secure the Master Emerald and protect it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't know, I just really liked that. Like he did feel like a like I mean he wasn't like a threat because he's Knuckles and you know they're gonna like be buddies. But like he was like imposing, you know, like it's not like I just feel like there's like in more recent Sonic media, he's not really taken as seriously.
He also doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
so
he was finally allowed some
seriously?
agency.
Yes, yes, literally. Oh my gosh. It's so good. I'm feasting. Like, I'm so happy. Like, he's awesome. He's like a character. He's like awesome. I love him.
Kind of the other major thing I was thinking about with Knuckles that I really appreciate is that his solitariness goes back to that idea that was proposed in Sonic Adventure and then never really again, which is like, oh, it actually kind of does matter to him that he's the last of his kind. Like his personality and the way he reacts to things are direct consequence of him being orphaned by his entire clan and every person of his race that he knows.
Yeah.
I feel like that was well explored in this movie, even if it like, you know, it's a 2-hour film. You're not going to get a novel's length of like time dedicated to real character growth. I still think they explored it pretty well in the time they did.
Yeah, totally. And besides, that's what the spin-off TV show is going to be for.
Oh yeah, true. See, that can have a novel's worth of text.
Yes, and I'm rubbing my hands together evilly because I'm very excited.
That's coming next year, right?
I think so.
I
I'm very curious as to where they're going to go with that, because that'll probably be a good opportunity to introduce a lot of things that'll tie into the third movie, which we should probably wait to get into, because that is the very last thing.
Yes.
Even if statistically speaking, it's probably the thing you know already.
Probably.
But not just yet. You gotta be patient.
I think that's most of what I had with Knuckles, aside from just he looks great. He
does look very
fantastic.
good. I think my one critique is still that I wish his little chest mark was a necklace, but otherwise it's fine. He's good. Maybe they could have given him gloves that didn't look exactly like boxing gloves, but again, it's fine. Doesn't
It's the
really
sort of thing
matter.
that, like, yeah, it sits back in your mind when you're watching, to be honest, because he's in motion so often.
Yeah, because it's something that doesn't super matter. It would just be a nice touch, like going a little bit further to redesign him in a way that suits his background here, where in the movie he the detail of him is accurate to the game. So like he looks like Knuckles, and that's fine. It's not like they're failing. It's just that like with the way that he is here, I kind of wish that there was a little bit on his character that reflected that, but it's fine that it doesn't.
Mhm.
Otherwise, though, I just really liked his portrayal. I think Aster got at it plenty, just like the fact that they did Knuckles well in a form of media for the first time in years is like electrifying enough on its own.
Yes,
Thank you.
they made Knuckles cool, and that was a very big deal.
They made him real.
Cool. He's cool. I feel like that's what people miss out on. Is like he's cool. Knuckles is cool.
It's so telling that like so much of the marketing around this movie was Sonic v Knuckles and like focusing on that, and how riled up people who just like know surface level stuff about Sonic, people who haven't played the game since Sonic 3 or like seen any advertisements for the game since the early 2000s. How many of those kinds of people got super excited about the marketing blitz of Sonic 2 because Knuckles is cool?
Knuckles is cool. He's literally so cool.
That's one of my biggest takeaways from this entire experience is, oh my god, people are excited about Sonic the Hedgehog again in a general public context. When was the last time this happened? Like, the Deke cartoons? When people were like 8? Sonic in the Macy's Day Parade? Where the balloon burst?
I think it was like the original Genesis games, because I think as soon as they went 3D, that's when they started losing people. And I think now they're starting to rope in the people who have stuck around for forever, but they're also doing a good job establishing what is cool about Sonic to the people who maybe haven't kept up as much.
It's beautiful. It's like a renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal.
I find it very interesting that it's not encompassing games right now, and I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I wonder how many people are going to get into the IDW comics from this movie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like genuinely the same sort of Marvel movies to comics pipeline.
But I guess on that note, how do we feel about the other one who was introduced in this movie, sort of Tails?
Yeah, sort of introduced in this movie.
A little bit.
Can I just say
Yeah.
say really quick? I'd like to say this. I'd like to put this out there. I'm just interested in saying this. I wish Sonic had given Tails his nickname.
Yeah.
I think like it's incredibly serviceable the way they decided to do it. I just think like it would have been cute
Yeah.
if they'd done that. Probably also with Knuckles, but okay.
Yeah.
I think the thing that bothers me is that they never say Tails' real name once. It doesn't get
They
mentioned
do at the
in
very end.
They do? When? I don't
They do?
remember.
I'm pretty sure this happened in the movie at the very end that Sonic says Miles Tails Prower at the baseball field.
Oh, right, they do. You're right. They do say that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only time they say it.
It's
but
the
like,
only time, and it threw me for a loop. I wasn't
That
expecting
went
it.
totally over my. That didn't even click.
yeah, because Tails introduces himself as Tails. He doesn't say I'm Miles, but everyone calls me Tails. Which would have just been a very easy way to do that.
Instead, he just let in with everyone calls me Tails.
Yeah, I think it's fine to have it be recontextualized as like, oh, people call me Tails because I have two tails and they're rude about it. They're mean. Because like this, well, I guess with this Sonic, he already is established to be giving nicknames to everyone, so maybe they should have
that's
just
it.
done that.
Like,
Yeah.
they really set it up in the first movie. I thought the payoff was going to be naming the characters you already know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they really set it up. They even had Sonic calling Robotnik Eggman in the first movie. Which, like, was very loose with actual Sonic content.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like overall Tails felt a little absent. Like he was important in this movie. And he was around like the whole time. Maybe absent wasn't the right word, but it just felt like he was just
Backseated,
kind of. It felt like he was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like a little background.
I thought it was a little odd the way he was just like a Sonic fanboy, just like they explain it and like it's fine, but it's the way it was written. Like the context doesn't bother me, but it's like only Sonic the Hedgehog would do this and this and that. Like he keeps making that joke over and over,
Like,
and
why
it
was
sounds
that
dumb.
Like it felt like a catchphrase. Like only Sonic the Hedgehog would blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah,
interesting choice.
it felt really like forced on his part. As like, isn't Sonic such a quirky and funny character? We're gonna have Tails reflect that instead of you, the audience, thinking that, because it's not like Sonic isn't endearing. Like we've said it already, but this whole franchise hinges on Sonic being endearing. If the first movie still had the old design, it would have not done well because it hinges on Sonic being cute and endearing and funny.
We would not be sitting here recording this right now if the first movie had stuck with its original design. It wouldn't have happened. The sequel would not exist.
True.
So it's just very odd to me, I think.
I thought like the last iteration of it was funny only because he subverted the fanboying up Sonic's good traits in favor of fanboying up Sonic needing help, and I thought that was endearing enough to be cute. But it is a strange thing to tack onto Tails' personality.
Yeah. His personality felt way too tied to Sonic, and I guess going forward they might try and separate him a little bit. And I'm not even the kind of person who's like, oh yeah, I really love like modern Tails and the way that he's like a tech head and he does everything he wants. It just felt like the dynamic, like the ideal dynamic of the Sonic and Tails that this movie would present is like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and they don't really hit that point. And I think that's what's missing, is that it doesn't feel as genuine as that did, and that's the problem. Like, it's like a little bit big brother, little brother, but it's not enough. It doesn't feel as genuine as it should.
Yeah, I feel that.
Well, obviously they're setting him up for his Sonic Adventure arc in Sonic 3, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I know, it's so possible. It's super possible. I was gonna say that, like, I think Sonic and Tails' relationship is a little rushed at the beginning. Like they felt like they needed to quickly get to the point where they're really attached to each other. And once they got there, I felt like it was pretty good. It just didn't feel that earned compared to like other forms of Sonic media.
Yeah. this movie had a lot on its plate that it had to establish, especially with all of Knuckles' plot. Like, he got the character development. He and Sonic both got the character development in this movie because this movie's about them. And Tails is...
He's kind of ancillary to it all.
Yeah, he's just kind of along for the ride, which is unfortunate because it is a big deal to finally have Tails in this movie. So...
Yeah. I mean, as a Knuckles enjoyer, I'm not too horribly disappointed, although I do love Tails very, very dearly. But yeah, I do feel like Tails was just kind of like... It was important that he was there, and like, he was fine. It's just... I don't know if there was anything very like stand out about him. Like, I'm having a hard time like remembering a whole lot about what Tails did. He did the funny dance off.
Yeah, he had his holograms. He had all the tech gadgets that Rachel and Maddie used to break into the gun base.
True.
Which that's a whole thing. I want to get this out there while we're talking about Tails, that like everything aside, all my qualms about Tails kind of lacking appearance in this, all that aside, I'm so glad they didn't pull a Lost World with this at any point.
Oh my god,
the game,
thank
not
goodness.
the level. And,
yeah.
And have him be like, Sonic, I thought we were friends. Why would you do that to me? That kind of thing. Would have been so tiring, especially like when it happened in Sonic Lost World. It was already a tired like story beat in media and all, period. To that point, the contrived reason to break up two really good friends.
And it's such a trope in movies too. Like, it's like a beautiful miracle that this didn't happen, because it's like the worst trope in existence. I hate it so much.
Thank God there was like good writing on board for the actual like friendship dynamics in this movie.
True. Yeah.
I guess if I could say something that would be like, I don't know how to put this. I feel like Tails should get the TV show more than Knuckles, because Knuckles got his development, and I think he'll only go up. Like, if there was no TV show, and in Sonic 3, he was a little more like chilled out SA2 Knuckles, where like he's done this all before, he knows everyone's fine, so like he's like going out and doing some of his own thing, but he's still like sharing the burden with everyone. So I think that would be convincing enough, just with the implied time pass between 2 and 3. But Tails, I don't know. I guess that would also happen with Tails, but it felt like he didn't really get that much development, so he could use it in a TV show, but I don't know.
I think there's really something there, though, because Tails has the kind of personality and just overall character that would make him a good vector to explore other characters through. Like, if that's what they wanted to do, he would make for a good TV protagonist in that way. Ever since the Knuckles series was announced, I was kind of like, what are they going to do for this? Like, I can't fully picture what the conceit will be and how Knuckles will interact with other people and what his relationship to this world and whatever story they plan to enact will be, compared to like here, where it was really straightforward and told really well.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the idea is that they're going to lean towards that being where he gets his treasure hunting chops from, just to establish that. So it'll be a lot of like, I have to find this big thing. Like maybe he finds the super emeralds if they're feeling
right.
Like they want to do that in the movie universe and they want to break the rules.
If they do that, they gotta give him the hat.
They probably
He
will.
needs the hat.
I'm sure
They
they will.
should. They will.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I'd be kind of surprised if they didn't too. At this point, they're really going deep with the small references.
True.
Yeah, I do think that the Knuckles show will definitely be a good outlet for exploring new characters to introduce. Like maybe we'll see the Chaotix, which we saw in the comic, or maybe we'll see Rouge and stuff like that. Like it'll definitely be a lot of CG going to different worlds.
Yeah, it feels like appropriate. They could definitely have a TV show with a lot of CG animated characters in front of filmed backgrounds, film sets, more easily than they could justify doing that for a movie right now.
So that just kind of leaves Sonic. And he's pretty okay in this movie. I think we could lump Sonic and Eggman together in the same topic because I feel like they have the same strengths and the same issues.
I think I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
Because to get that out of the way, I think Sonic's less quippier. Like, he still says his funny pop culture jokes, but they don't feel as, like, beaten over your head. He doesn't feel as hip and cool as he did in the first movie. He's just kind of Sonic now. And, like, every so often he'll say something that's, like, he'll make a reference and it's whatever. But Eggman says a lot more references, and it felt out of place to me. Like,
I completely agree.
I got what they were going for, trying to make him sound more manic and crazy, but you don't do that by making him say a bunch of references. Because I think when he wasn't, like when he was just doing his normal Eggman bit, that was convincing enough. It was good.
Remember when he flossed?
He did go out of his way to floss for no reason. Which, like,
Do you think Jim Carrey already knew how to floss, or did somebody have to teach him?
I'm sure he already knew.
Oh my god.
Positive.
I do really like thinking about that that behind the scenes scene from The Good Place, but with Jim Carrey instead of Ted Danson being taught how to floss.
God. I think the funny thing to me is that Sonic flossed in the first movie, and that felt more natural than Eggman's did. Because
Yeah.
like
At this point, it's kind of like passe.
Yeah, that's also true. But like in the first movie, he just like does it as part of his victory dance, and he does it for like a second. It's like, okay,
True.
like he flossed, and if him flossing then is gonna bother you that much, then maybe you're just kind of an old fart. But now it was like Eggman did a whole song and dance about it. Like, he worked it into his wordplay, and it's like, dude, why are you doing this? You've been on a mushroom planet for like a year.
He also feels like the old fart trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. It's like, it's not a huge deal, but it is like emblematic of the thing that Mo was talking about in general with Robotnik in this movie, where he's like trying to be cooler, I guess. I think the performance is him trying to be cooler. Not the character, but the performance.
He's trying to be a little more manic and cartoony, and I get where that's coming from. The thing is that he doesn't get very many opportunities to be necessarily menacing. Like, he gets his moments, but I think they really should have played that up, because he got a lot more of that in the first movie, where he was just in control and just constantly asserting himself over everyone. And I think this movie should have had more of that, so as to lean more into whatever is going to happen in the third movie. But I still think in general, like, if Eggman's going to be back in this movie, he shouldn't have, like, he's not playing around anymore. Like, he just got back from space.
Yeah.
And he wants Sonic dead.
And like, there's shades of that. That aspect of him in this movie does shine through at points.
Yeah.
But it is like, it's tapered a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think he has some moments with Stone in this movie that are very gay. They're very overt with him and Stone being gay, so I hope they don't stop doing that.
Yeah, whether or not he even comes back for the third movie, I hope that like that aspect of Stone's personality doesn't go anywhere.
True.
Yeah. Do you mean Jim Carrey?
If Jim Carrey doesn't come back for the third movie specifically.
I'm sure he will.
I phrased that a little silly.
I think he said that 3 will be his last movie if he has a last movie.
Oh, did he? I haven't kept my finger on the pulse. Last I heard was when he was like, yeah, I think Sonic 2 is going to be my last movie, which we had a conversation about this off mic about like how big name actors tend to do this a lot in their late years, where they're like, yeah, I think this will probably be the last thing I do in order to get a little bit more out of whoever wants to hire them for a role next.
Yeah, it sounded like there was a commitment to Sonic 3, because I remember he mentioned them wanting to do, big fat round Eggman for the third movie, or at least he said that he would want that. And there is a shade of that in this movie. There's a cameo of Eggman in the classic outfit with like a fat suit, and it looks kind of convincing. So,
I guess we'll see how that pans out. That'll be interesting.
It would be interesting to do that for the third movie, which I guess we're pretty much there. There's not really anything else to talk about. We could talk about the thing, the elephant in the room, while talking about like the very end spoilers for Sonic 2 as well. May as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it definitely feels like it would be really interesting to have Sonic 3 without Eggman there, all things considered.
Yeah, so super omega spoilers. If you really don't want to know how this movie ends, then you should really go now.
Yeah.
Go, shoot, get out of here, go.
Yeah.
Seriously, leave.
Get out of here. What are you doing?
Look, I know you're excited.
there.
Seriously.
The door's right there, and it's open.
Yeah, if you've been listening this whole time, the door's open.
Listen, watch it. Go. Like, you already heard what we said. Like,
True. So
does anyone here like Shadow the Hedgehog?
boy!
He is quite an interesting guy. So this movie, Sonic 2, firmly establishes Gun. Just like straight up. They mention it. They say the name. Mm-hmm. And the Olive Garden guy is the gun commander, which is kind of funny. I've seen the criticism that like they really shouldn't have established Gun in this movie as like this big joke for the wedding with the Operation Catfish, because it kind of sets them up to be a joke, but like Gun kind of is a joke. Like,
I'm just saying, they're the military. Like,
yeah,
kind of a joke already.
Gotta say, folks.
I think it's fine if by doing Shadow's backstory, that instead of having Gun straight up, they just do the government. I don't think that'll be too far-fetched, and I think that's what they'll do. Mm-hmm. That is also my hot take, that there's a lot of people who are like, well, what are they going to do? They're not going to do SA2 verbatim. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Lol.
Oh my god. They're probably going to introduce Amy.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if they'll do Maria. I figure they might, just because like Gerald Robotic's going to be there. Why wouldn't he? Literally, the only reason why they found Shadow is because the woman at the end said, I was looking in the database. I was searching Eggman's name, Robotnik in the database, and we found something from 50 years ago, Project Shadow. She found Gerald. They didn't find Jim Carrey Robotnik. She found Gerald.
Yeah.
So like, it's pretty obvious what is being hinted at here, and it's just a matter of whether or not they're going to include Maria, or maybe they'll streamline everything to not be as crazy as SA2 got. Like, I don't know if it's going to have the same SA2 end game, but they're certainly going to combine. My completely crazy theory is they're going to canonize the fan headcanon of Shadow is based off of the old Echidna prophecies of the ultimate life form stopping perfect chaos. The one that we see in
the mural at Hidden Palace.
Yeah, in the Hidden Palace mural
interesting.
and in Lost World.
Mm-hmm.
They shaped him after that. And there's going to be research of things from off-world. Maybe they'll do that. Like, there's so many things this movie sets up that they could do that I genuinely I'm not entirely sure. Like, they could do that, or they could just set up like, hey, Gerald was doing research on other planets and he found Sonic's world before anyone else. And he was a major player in, like the Master Emerald excavation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
could be
like,
anything.
There's a lot of ways they could do, but either way, it's 100% going to be Gerald Robotnik. It's not like it's not. And that's what Shadow is built off of, because Shadow also looks very, very Dead Ringer. Like, he has the same face as Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Which they could use in one hand to more convincingly have the, what? Is that Sonic? Like the doppelganger thing?
Especially at night.
Yeah. Or they could just do, the government still wants Sonic. It's that didn't go away. It's not like at the end of the movie, Gunn was like, yeah, we'll just chill out. It's like he was proven, like he was shown that Robotnik is back, and he's like, okay, this is greater good. I'm bailing out. So
yeah, just sitting back and letting this play out.
Yeah.
I have one major hope for a Sonic 3 movie, which is I want them to canonize the theory that Gerald didn't do anything to set up the Ark as a weapon. That was all Shadow. Like, as soon as Shadow's released, he went to the Ark and told Eggman to come with him. And guess who went first? Guess who had a lot of time off screen to accomplish a lot of things, such as downloading the last remaining video of Gerald at his execution, where he gave his speech, put that on a bunch of computers, set that up to play, set up the Eclipse cannon, like all of this stuff. It makes so much more sense if Shadow, with his belief that he needed to bring revenge to the people of Earth for Maria's death and then also Gerald's death, did all of that rather than the man who was on execution row.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that is also a part of the plot.
Yeah, I am also positive that this movie had a Death Egg robot without a Death Egg, so they're gonna combine the Ark and the Death Egg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that would make total sense.
Yeah, I could honestly sooner see them doing Chaos than the Bio Lizard, to be perfectly honest with you. Like,
that would be interesting because Chaos is definitely more iconic, which I could definitely see that be like a bigger reason why they'd want to do that.
Yeah, because the way I see it is that the next movie, because this was a Master Emerald movie, even though it does have the Chaos Emerald Supersonic finale,
it's so much more about the Master Emerald.
It's about the Master Emerald, and I think the next movie is going to be more about the Chaos Emeralds in the way with the like, okay, well, I need to get those Chaos Emeralds back so I can do this all again, and you're going to help me do it. Points at Shadow. And I think that all of the fighting over the Chaos Emeralds is going to essentially do what Chaos did originally, which was, emerge from the Master Emerald or something like that. And I think there's going to be a lot of circulation between that and the Master Emerald's relationship with the Chaos Emeralds. Like, maybe they'll all reform into one thing again. Probably not, but we'll see.
That would be super interesting if this movie goes down the road of, like, implementing the remaining aspects of SA1 that Sonic 2 didn't touch.
And then there's also the matter of, are they going to kill off Shadow? Which I hope not. They've done a good job on doing all of the things that I like and I said that they should do, just for all of the respective characters. So I would like them to fix that. But also, if they kill off Shadow in Sonic 3, they will either do a better job justifying him coming back, like there will be a post-credit scene of Eggman finding his body, or they'll commit to it. They'll just keep him dead.
Which would be nuts if they actually did that, considering, like, we all know how that went for the games.
Yeah, I do think that from a film perspective, just because of how individualized each of the films are, I think I could see them committing to it. And I still don't see Metal Sonic showing up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I think,
it's like at this point...
really... Go ahead, Aster.
It's like at this point, I just don't see where Metal Sonic would really fit into it. Like, Metal Sonic is very cool, but, like, what can you do with Metal Sonic?
I've seen people point out that, like, Metal Sonic is more a weapon than a character, especially in the context of something like this with a grand narrative, like, movie. But I think, like, they could potentially work Metal Sonic in if they wanted, again, more as a weapon than as a character, though. It would have to be a sort of thing where, like, concurrent with everything else going on, Eggman is over here being, like, the thing we expected for Sonic 2, the thing we thought might happen in Sonic 2, which was he has the quill. He's so desperate to do anything to take Sonic down that he's like, I'll make my own Sonic with this power source.
Yeah, like, I could see Metal Sonic being the very start of Sonic 3. Like, it cuts in media res to Eggman and Metal Sonic fighting Sonic, and it's like, hey, Sonic, this is my robot duplicate. And it's like, we're already getting into the rigmarole of Sonic versus Eggman now that he's back.
That's a funny idea. That's a really funny idea.
That is literally the only way that I have, like, been able to picture it. Like, it's like, I can't, like, the only thing I can think of is, like, that. And then, like, they do other stuff, because I can't imagine it being like at the same time with Shadow in the movie. It just feels like that would be like too much going on at once.
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be, here, I've built my own Sonic, and then Sonic lays him out, and because keep in mind, we don't know where the quill is. I figured the quill is just gone. Like, we've just given up on the quill because of the Chaos Emeralds, because it was not in 2 whatsoever. Like, Eggman used it for the thing. He showed Knuckles, like, hey, I have this quill. It's Sonic's quill. You want to kill Sonic? Me too. Let's go kill Sonic. And then it's gone. It's not used for anything else. Unless it's being used for the Eggmobile, which I don't think it is, so whatever.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So Eggman will make Metal Sonic. Like, he'll just make Metal Sonic. It won't even be the quill. And it'll be like, oh, well, that Sonic clone didn't work. And then he stumbles across, Shadow, and it's like, oh, this is a better my own Sonic. He's the ultimate life form. He can do everything that I want him to do. And then the whole movie plays out. And then maybe at the end, they'll do like a post-credit scene of like, oh, Metal Sonic is still alive, and he's like in a scrap heap barely thing.
Right.
You see his eyes turn back on. And then the next movie will be like Sonic Heroes or Sonic 3, Super Mario Brothers Z, where like he becomes a big souped up Metal Sonic and he's the big villain.
Oh my god.
That would be interesting.
I gotta say, we are very much fueled by spite toward people who have annoying Sonic opinions. I would be okay with Sonic 3 opening up with a complete jobber Metal Sonic.
Well, that's what I think they would do, because
Yeah.
a lot of people are saying like, okay, you can do like a big serious story with Metal Sonic. He has his complexities, but I don't think, first of all, Sega is interested in really exploring that, which is a big, more overarching issue that doesn't necessarily have to do with the movie. But I think the movies have more important things that they need to get to before Metal Sonic. I think the fandom has an interesting perspective on Metal Sonic, where they really enjoy denying Shadow's placement as one of the most popular characters, if not the most popular characters. And that's especially being justified right now because they went into Tails and Knuckles. And Knuckles is a character who was not in the limelight for a long time, but he's still like a very tentpole major Sonic character. But he's hardly the most popular now. He's definitely like 4th, 5th, something place. Like, he's not even in the top 3.
Yeah.
And Shadow is such a big deal because of his character and how important he is. And you can really just pluck him out uncompromised and put him in a movie, and he'll be a good character. Like, he will still be good. And I think that's the big thing that people aren't really grasping, which is that all of the, like, yeah, they made the Sonic OVA. They did do a movie with Metal Sonic, but in the OVA, Metal Sonic isn't really a character. He's a jobber. Like, he's a very important jobber, and he gets like a very specific and strange amount of character development at the very end. But like, he really doesn't, he's not a character in that movie. He's just like a force of nature. Shadow is everything you can get out of Metal Sonic in that movie. Plus he's a character. He has development. With Metal Sonic, you have to establish him first as a jobber before you can really like, you have to kill Metal Sonic before you can really build him up and make him interesting.
I agree.
He has
with
to
that.
be established as just a badnik. You
I
can't
agree
just
with
have
that.
him.
I would also say, with the point you were making about Shadow's popularity by talking about Knuckles, like, even if Knuckles has fallen down the ranks, look at what this movie has done to him again. If someone out there, if a lot of people out there really genuinely believe that Shadow is not that important of a character to the Sonic franchise and not that popular, just you wait. See what'll happen when this movie comes out.
Yeah, and I could see people making the same argument for Metal Sonic, but like, it's Shadow. He is huge. Shadow is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow is a very popular character.
If
I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah, for real. If you're looking at Sonic character popularity and like the relative gap between Sonic and Shadow as like 1st and 2nd place most popular characters of the franchise is like 10 feet, Sonic 3 movie is going to bump Shadow up like 2 feet, you know?
Yeah.
That's going to be huge relative to everything else.
I would also say that the distance between Sonic and Shadow is far shorter than the distance between Shadow and whoever's in 3rd place.
Exactly.
They gotta give him a gun in the 3rd movie, right?
They're probably going to give him a gun.
They're
They're probably going to give him a gun and take it away.
They're probably gonna take it away. Oh, you can't have that.
They'll probably give him a gun when he's going around posing as Sonic and doing very funny robbery things.
Oh my god, true.
Oh my god,
That's so real.
that's awesome.
And then they'll have a moment where Tom and Sonic are watching TV, the news, and then you see Shadow walking out, and he's got like a big bag of money or the Chaos Emerald, and he's holding a gun. And then James Marsden looks over to Sonic incredulously and goes, "A gun?" And Sonic's like, "I don't know."
That's probably exactly what's gonna happen.
I'd never be caught dead with one of those things.
Please let him say exactly that, please. Please let him say it. It's one of my favorite lines.
Like, I'm sure he will have a gun and they will reflect on how ridiculous that prospect is, but like, they won't do it in the Lego Dimensions way where Sonic or Shadow shows up with a gun and they literally take it away.
Oh, yeah.
They will give Shadow the gun, he will fire it, and they'll be like, "What?"
You can't just bring one of those things around here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They're gonna make a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off TV series.
I would be astonished if they didn't.
They're either gonna do that or they're going to make a spin-off Shadow the Hedgehog movie.
They're gonna make a Shadow the Hedgehog Pixar short before the movie.
Oh my god.
God. I guess on that end, I could very, very, very easily see Rouge being established in the Knuckles show.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, especially if the Knuckles show happens happens before the third movie in a way that they want you to see it before you see the third movie. I could see them establishing Rouge and then having her show up in the movie.
I want to see my girl.
Which would be cool, but I also don't want that because,
Yeah.
like, deep down, I kind of hate the Marvel MCU setup where it's like, watch the show to get a teaser for the movie, where like you don't necessarily have to watch the show, but it sets up why they're here. So like if you want that information, it's there. And I feel like I am still of the opinion, this movie has not swayed me, that every Sonic character they introduce has to be established somehow. Like, and they need to be an important established character. They have to be there for a reason. They won't just show up.
Oh yeah. I was saying earlier that I expect Amy in this third movie. If they do that, they're probably going to like heavily retool her relationship to absolutely everything.
Yeah, I think Amy is one of the characters who can really work in this universe because she would bounce off of the humans very well, but also like I really don't know how they would establish her unless they just open the floodgates and start bringing a bunch of animal people over to just, oh my god.
Yeah?
I just had a really stupid idea.
I'd love to hear it.
Well,
So instead of the Death Egg blowing up the moon, it's gonna blow up Sonic's planet.
Oh my god.
And they're gonna pull a Star Wars, and they're gonna bring all the animal people, like as many as they can, over to Sonic's world, and that will establish the Sonic world as it is in Sonic Adventure. Or I guess as it is now, where like they're saying that all of the animal people are on separate islands.
That's so
interesting.
funny. That's so funny if like the entirety of these films is just a long, like almost 6-hour setup to get us to kind of the level the games are on.
Yeah, I mean that would make the most sense because that would open up the franchise the most to just doing whatever they want to do and making Sonic things in this universe.
God, wild. I mean, I'd be there for it.
Yeah, I guess I would be okay with that. It would be blowing the lid off the whole thing, but that'd be the way I could see it happening.
he does hate that hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed this.
This is a thing he says. That is interesting.
I don't think I have any other like Sonic 3 predictions or expectations. And I'm kind of at a point where like I just want to know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm just very excited to hear the plot synopsis of this third movie.
Yeah, it feels like going from 1 to 2. There was a lot of things that you could infer that's like, oh yeah, they're obviously going to go here, because where else would they go? But right now it's like they have this very big chess piece that you know what it's going to be used for, and you don't know anything else surrounding that. Like, you have no idea how they're going to do it besides just doing it verbatim. Because like Sonic 1, when it established all of the echidna, it's like, okay, so like obviously Knuckles is in the next movie, and obviously there's going to be the Master Emerald because it's Knuckles, and they're going to do all this and this and that. But But with this, it's like, what are they gonna do? There's only like one specific thing that they could do from here, from what they have, and are they just gonna do that literally, or are they gonna change it? And I have no idea how they're gonna change it because there's no hints at that. It's just nothing. We're completely in the dark outside of there being shadow and gun.
Yeah, and like I think that's part of why I just want to sit back and let it happen.
Yeah, it'll be more fun again once a synopsis leaks, which
Once
it was
the
very
hype cycle
funny.
kicks up.
Yeah, it was very funny when we were talking about the leaked synopsis for 2 because it was correct and it didn't really spoil anything.
Yeah, it was dead on.
The thumbnail for this video is just gonna be like pointing at the Sonic 2 logo, like Mitt and Crepe predicted Sonic 2.
God.
As many red arrows as we can fit on it. I've done that bit with the thumbnails just once with the big video.
Oh, true.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
That is true. That one's funny.
Any closing thoughts? I'm really glad we had the chance to see the movie. I really liked it. It's like we said at the top, it did all the Sonic-y things that we wanted, so it was worthwhile as a Sonic fan.
Yeah, it is the Sonic movie. Like, I know that there is the Sonic movie in Sonic 1, but this is the Sonic movie, and I think I and everyone else is very excited to see what they're going to do with it going forward.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun seeing it with y'all for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. And it was also great.
Do you know what else would be great?
Yeah?
Does anyone in this room know what else would be great?
What?
I do. If
Yeah?
you followed us all on Twitter,
Whoa!
Yeah, I think you should absolutely do that.
yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Mitsumi_. I got rid of the Mario. He's gone.
He's out of here!
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at CrappyBlue. I got rid of the Luigi like 5 years ago.
Get him out! You can follow me at Ceeberoni, Ceeberoni. I didn't have a Mario character in my name.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I think you were better off.
Thanks. I like this about me.
You can follow us collectively on Twitter at LTASonic, where you can get all of the hip and cool LTASonic news all the time. And you can stay up to date with all of our stuff. We're doing Let's Plays now. We have a couple of episodes up, and we have more Sonic Adventure stuff going up soon. And then, if you like us a lot, you could donate to our Patreon. You can become a patron and get access to a couple of exclusive things, including early Let's Plays. Whenever we get back around to recording those, we will be uploading them again. That is patreon.com/LTASonic. And if you want to find everything, you could find all of our episodes all in one place, including the Let's Plays and everything else. LTAsonic.card.co. That's CARD.co.
And please, if you think it'd be fun to talk with us, not you spend all this time listening to us, join our Discord. There's a link to it on our card page, as well as in the pinned tweet of our Twitter, so it's easy to find.
Yes, it is just a regular Discord invite, otherwise I would read it off to you.
It's just a series of characters, and like, that's no fun.
Yeah, that's no fun.
What is fun is joining the server, though!
Yeah.
Wow.
We're semi-active on there along with a handful of other people. Maybe that'll change when you join.
Wow.
Wow.
Community building. You know what else is fun?
Yeah?
Seeing you in the next zone.
That is fun.
I'd like to do that.
I'd say that's fun.